Alright, we are live. Just gotta get all my tabs in order. Hello, I am Tidbit, she, her. I play video games, I do voice acting, and sometimes I stream both those things at once. So, welcome to Of the Devil Episode 0, aka the free demo, Part 2, because the last one took a while. I only streamed for about 3 hours, and so let's go for another one. I have no guests with me today, so let's just read off. This is a work of fiction. Ignore the title screen. It says episode 1 because I already beat the game on high roller mode just on my own. So let me find. Where the heck did we leave off? Alright, let's look at the days. It was a week ago. So that's 23rd minus 7. It's the 16th. We're looking for a save file on the 16th. Oh, here we are. Here's the proper saves. It's depressing as hell in here. They need to liven this place up. Carlos Flats, right? Hope you don't mind if I get comfortable. We've got a lot to cover, but this shouldn't take all night.
What are you... Look, I already told you people I didn't...
I'm not a cop, Carlos. Furthest thing from it. I'm a lawyer. Your lawyer, in fact. And I'm here to help you.
Yeah, well... They said that too. All of them did. Back there, in here, kept repeating it the whole ride over. They said that they were going to help me, that they knew this was all a mistake. Then they said that I killed, acting like they were on my side and thought that I could have...
It's not their job to help you, Carlos. But it is mine, and I'm here now. He's still in shock. I need more information, but if I approach this the wrong way, he'll just clam up even more. I'm sure you're exhausted. It's probably difficult to think, let alone speak. But I'd like you to try and answer a few questions.
The police already...
Questioned you, I'm sure. But they were treating you as a suspect, not as a client.
Okay. So what do you want to know?
Could talk about the murder, but that would go straight into the deep end. Talk about the victim, but it seems like he's a bit volatile right now. Let's just get some groundwork going. Treat him as a person. Let's start simple. Something mundane, grounded, rote. I'd like to know a bit more about you. First, Carlos. Something like... What line of work are you in?
I'm with city engineering. Or I was, or I should be.
As I thought, the police must be convinced he mapped the optics blackouts using data he stole from work.
My arm, I got it slotted for this job.
Carlos, I'm going to need more than that. So what do I know? He works in city engineering, not a desk job. Reyes said he was modded for work, and that arm must be in custody at the moment. But based on his shoulder, I'd have to say it'd be pretty utilitarian. Yeah, he doesn't strike me as the type who's enamored with the aesthetics of modding. The young and the restless and the rich, swapping in neon and chrome limbs, 'cause they like the way it looks. Or the way it makes other people start looking at them. No, he's pragmatic, grounded, and very unlucky. In which case, I should be too. You know, my brother wanted to mod.
Really?
Really? I don't even have a brother. He had everything planned out, a whole career path of promotions and bonuses and the upgrades they afford him. Then came his 18th birthday present, test results, politely informing him that he is not a viable candidate.
That sucks.
I think he felt relieved, actually. It seemed like it was a weight off his chest. Like he was glad he didn't have to choose. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think it does. I always figured if I started at all, I'd start small, a hand or an eye, test the waters. Never thought about lobbing off my whole damn arm. But the recruiter was enthusiastic. And he said because of the NCDA, there was financial aid and resources. Of course, that got shit canned, so now me and every other modder is royally screwed. Couldn't even let me keep the damn tax credit.
New Citizens with Disabilities Act was amended, not repealed. But I doubt he'd appreciate the distinction at the moment.
I work the tighter spaces. The high volt environments, mostly canopy upkeep. Typically stuff for modders, you know.
He's speaking freely now. Don't need to do much more than repeat his words back to him to keep him talking. But the right word choice here or there can still make a difference. Hot tit. My brain is goop right now. How are you? I am also recovering from a brain goop that happened on Thursday. I have no idea what happened. It was a strange medical scare. Brain went totally blank. My body had all these different these ailments going on. Like, it felt cold. My whole body felt cold and sore. My body felt like hollow but very heavy. It was difficult to move. My fingers started to be really, really against what I was trying to do. And then I just couldn't think at all. And I could barely talk because my throat was like clamming up, like as if I was like holding back crying. I have no idea what happened. Happened Thursday night. I slept in most of that day and Friday. And now I'm back. Don't know what it was, though. Don't know if he'll come back. You work on the canopy. You must be... We read an article about how quickly the canopy is being designed. You must be under a lot of pressure now that the subways are cordoned off.
Damn straight. And this crap with Long. Once word got out that the case against him was real, every desk job in the chain became terrified of their own shadow. All of them convinced that internal affairs is gonna come knocking if they misplace so much as a paperclip. Everything by the books means no room for compromise, no room for problem solving.
No room for engineering.
Yeah. And no patience for screw-ups.
He's trying very hard to not look at his shoulder. Why aren't you wearing your prosthetic right now, Carlos?
Yeah, that. Rejection issues starting last month. A lot of sleepless nights.
Rejection? Did the therapy not take? Search results for MODS therapy, showing results for body modification therapy. The process of adjusting the human mind and body for the unique challenges and stresses that come with cybernetic body modifications typically includes physical therapy, mental technique instruction, and sensitivity training. Look at little Sarah. Whee! Yeah, I beat this on my own, and I bought some nice stuff for my phone. Depending on an individual's viability or lack thereof, medication and even minor viral tuning may be employed to modify the body's immune response. But improvements made in recent years in medical sterile alloys have greatly reduced the percentage of the patients that require such treatment.
What the heck was that little charm on your phone?
You won't know her.
No, it's not like that. I wasn't oozing pus out of my sockets or anything.
Then, do these rejection issues have anything to do with your scars?
Not in the way you're thinking.
Oh?
I'm right-handed.
So, those cuts on his face are just from shaving?
Never thought this'd go on for so long. I'd have to relearn how to do everything.
Socket pus. Blech.
I mean, the problem started small, trembling, but then spasms. Just oversensitive, they said. An easy fix.
But the problem got bigger?
Couldn't let it get that far. Need to be able to trust your own hands when you're on the job. Drop a cutter at the wrong moment, and people could get hurt. So I sat down, made an appointment, turned in my arm, and watched my case get placed at the back of the damn line!
Where did you turn it in?
It's some mass turnaround chop shop with a waiting list like you wouldn't.
It doesn't sound like you're a happy customer.
Hell no! I'd found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times. But as long as I'm renting and not owning,
The manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance.
and that's why I'm sitting here with this expensive-ass stump for a shoulder. I haven't been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I get 2 working arms again.
You couldn't buy or rent a replacement yourself, just in the meantime?
I serve at the pleasure of the state. And they got exclusivity contracts with Hindi, all locked up white-knuckle tight.
Hindi. How Industries? Hindi. Showing results for How Industries. How Industries is the world leader in the research, development, manufacturing, and fitting of cybernetic prosthetics for commercial and private use. Hey, we're hiring! We're seeking motivation and passionate archivists, programmers, salespeople, and college graduates with degrees in digital, archaeology, cybernetic anatomy, and more.
Not interested in sponsor search results? See further with a premium account.
A How Industries Habilis 2085 Mechanical Limb. Boasts impressive grip strength, dexterity, and low cost of maintenance. The success of it and its sister products went a long way towards securing state contracts for How Industries. Submitted 5 weeks ago at a How partnered prosthetic adjustment clinic. Average wait list duration of 40 business days. Due to user-reported sensitivity issues. As I recall, he's registered with one of their habilis models.
If I took one step on site with unsecured tech, forget the fines. I'd lose the down payments and my arm. And I'd never work in this city again. If this was last quarter, maybe I could have worked something out with management. But, like I said, no one's sticking their necks out for anyone now that Long's in deep, hot shit.
You mean discomfort? Are you in pain? And now, we have Flat's profile as a person.
Carlos Flats, date of birth, July 8th. Height, 189 centimeters. Weight, 94 kilograms. Blood type, B negative. Occupation, civil engineer. Canopy. Likes, airports. Worn shoes, firm beds. Dislikes, cabs, musicals, cashews. Favorite flower, puppy. Student debt, sizable. Luck, poor.
Are you in pain?
Pain'll come and go. It's the itches that'll kill you. And the phantoms come back pretty fast when you don't have anything. Phantom mods, showing results for phantom pain. Pain or discomfort that the brain experiences as coming from an amputated part of the body. When stimuli stops coming from a part of the body that is no longer there, the areas of the nervous system that were previously devoted to processing those sensations reconfigure themselves to still be of use. Occasionally, the brain mistakes this new sensory processing as still being associated with pain or sensation from the amputated limb. Because of the larger mental element at play, therapy for phantom pain reduction necessarily involves physiological conditioning, and often the use of prosthetics. Phantom pain has become more widely experienced and understood as a result of the spread of the body modification movement. Debate over whether the modern scene has increased or decreased public empathy for amputees and the disabled remains contentious.
Did you mean phantom visions? Phantom visions are caused by faulty insulation on cybernetic eye mods, resulting in periodical electrical discharges across the retina. Schedule a consultation immediately if you suspect this applies to you. Users also frequently search for, "My mod hurts," "Mod are itching," "Is my arm haunted?"
Arm shaped attached to me.
Didn't they give you something to, well, wear in the meantime? Something the clinics lend out for cases like this?
What they gave me is a dead-weight, three-jointed, landfill bulb piece of shit! Sorry. It's just... It's a very shitty feeling. Having a part of your body that you know they cut corners on. It fits. It's compatible. Technically, I can slot it in and feel on balance again. But the fingers don't even bend, and the quick twitch motors are way off. It's like walking around with your arm asleep or dead.
So, you were wearing it when... You were wearing it when you were arrested?
No, I wasn't. But I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging it as evidence, so...
Ahau Industries Bronzer 2081 prosthetic limb. An affordable model, customers frequently cite issues with finger articulation and quick twitch movements. Records show Carlos Flat was provided this model while his habilis is being repaired, but he claims to rarely wear it. Currently in police custody. Tid, when does Mo show up to reset the timeline? Oh, where do you think all the cybernetic mods come from? We killed Mo and used his corpse as glue.
can't have gotten too far.
So, Detective Reyes was being quite literal about how he was. So, Detective Reyes was being quite literal about how he was found. He had the victim's blood on his left arm only because at the time in question, he didn't even have a right. No inconsistencies in the story so far, and he's opened up about as well as can be expected. But this has all just been a warm-up for the both of us. Now comes the delicate part. Carlos, you and the victim were romantically involved. How long did you two know each other?
Right. I've known her since college. We shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Always got along. Eventually, we just got together at some point. Guess I never actually asked her out the real formal way. Sounds pretty cowardly, saying that out loud. Diane, she was in genetics, focused her studies on agriculture. It always takes them a few tries to get used to using past tense. Just finished her post-grad work this year. Got hired right out of the gate. Practically headhunted. You believe that? Practically headhunted. Of course she was. Any company'd be lucky to have her. And it was a real ass job. Paid real ass money, too. It was a real ass job. Paid real ass money, too.
So, her career was starting to pan out? Right as yours had fallen into the mother of all slumps. Where was she hired?
Pedigree. No. Perigee Laboratories? I say that like the name matters. The whole setup's under Harco's umbrella.
That doesn't narrow it down. The Harvest Corporation grows a third of the soybeans and corn in the entire country. One client that size, the lab wouldn't need any others. Now, no corporation earns the mega prefix without a little throat cutting. But Harco is about as tame as big business can get. Predictable like the season. No one's going to buy that they had some lab tech murdered because of corporate greed. Had she adjusted well to her new job?
Yeah, they loved having her there.
She never mentioned arguments or disputes. Corporate politics getting rough?
I don't think so. Not like I've been a good listener lately. But I never got the impression that she... Look, no one I know could do this to her. And there's nothing she could have done that would deserve what happened to her.
It was a long shot, hoping for a disgruntled character from her past to shift the blame onto. But with no other suspects, I can't just reshuffle the detective's suspicions. I'll have to disprove their arguments entirely.
Did you blow your nose?
I breathed in through my nose. Thank you, Carlos. That was very helpful.
It was?
Now, I'd like you to try and tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight.
Oh.
Start at the beginning and take your time. The details are important.
All right, Miss...
Morgan.
I'll try, Morgan.
When you're ready.
We were arguing. We had been arguing a lot lately. Arguing about stupid stuff. I haven't been working. Haven't been making money. haven't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself. But more than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous over nothing. Jealous over goddamn money.
The reports say you were arguing around 8 p.m.
8? Yeah, must have been when we started. We got into it and I said a lot of things that I shouldn't have. And I said one thing that I really, really shouldn't have. I crossed the line, and we both knew it, so I left.
You left?
Yeah, walked out the front door. Thought some fresh air might help cool me off. Help me figure out what to say to make it up to her. Of course, the air wasn't fresh, just humid, thick like mud. And while I was pissing away the time, Diane was...
Did you bring your phone with you or any other electronics?
No. I kinda stormed off. Didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind.
With optics down, traffic and street level cameras won't help him. That leaves. Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with modded eyes? Did you buy anything, cash or credit?
No, not even a vending machine.
Not even a damn vending machine. Ugh. Okay, give me a sec. I need to blow my nose. I can't tell if Carlos is like doing the Carlos voice is messing with my nose or I need to blow it. Alright. I may have met my match. How can anyone be this unlucky? That's quite unfortunate.
I just wanted quiet at the time. Wanted to wallow in it, really. Sorry if I don't have all the details straight. My head is... But if my exact route would help, the cams probably... What? What is it? Optics was what? Can that even happen?
And there's no other proof that you were out at the time Diane was killed. Meaning you've got no alibi.
This isn't... This can't... Listen, I didn't do this. I couldn't...
Carlos. I'm the one person you don't have to try and convince. After all, I'm your lawyer. So let's just get it all out there and see what we've got to work with.
Right.
Now, you said you left to clear your head. So, what made you come back?
I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. Didn't know what it was, but it was loud. And it scared me. And it came from the direction of our apartment. I was walking back at first, but at some point I must have started running because when I got back I was so out of breath. When I saw that the front door was open, something dropped in my chest and my lungs wouldn't.
You live on the first floor, right? Oh, let's read chat here. Do you think they'll make a marketable plush of Morgan in the coming future? It'd be very nice. I'd definitely try and get one. But they'd probably make one of Sarah first.
Yeah, first floor apartment, street facing entrance. We were proud of that when we first moved in. Like it was some kind of big deal. From the hallway, I saw her, but I didn't realize. I never thought that she was. The lights were off. The whole room was a mess. I thought we'd been robbed, or she had fallen, or there was broken glass, furniture knocked over. And she was. I called her name, and she didn't move. I checked her pulse, and she was still warm. Her blood was warm. And I saw
The gun?
it looked so heavy, but I thought it had to be fake because I didn't want it to be real.
Is that why you picked it up?
What? Pick it up? I didn't touch that thing. I didn't shoot her, damn it!
Doing what I do, you hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, hasty lies, bad lies especially. For me, it's always been easy to spot a lie, but it can be hard to know what to do about it. I have all the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous and defensive. And none of this works if he doesn't trust me. Halt! Heads up! Stay up to date on the details of all evidence by checking your phone. If your clients notice that you don't know what you're talking about, they'll stop giving you any credit. You did touch the gun, Carlos. That's just a fact, and we know because you were found with it. Doesn't really prove anything. It's registered to you? It is not. Because of the prints that are on it. It's a fact that your fingerprints are on that gun.
What? But I didn't do this. I wasn't thinking. I was just.
Carlos. All I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all.
Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun?
That explains how his prints got on the gun. But not in a way that would satisfy the police. Still, if all he did was hold the gun. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. They both reached for the gun, for the gun. I don't know what that is, but I've seen a thumbnail. So, I feel like that's a reference to episode 2. No spoilers.
So stupid. I know what a gun looks like. But seeing it in my own home, right in front of...
You were in shock, Carlos. You still are.
The police came in sometime after that. I don't remember much of what they said. Things started moving fast. It seemed like the rest of my night went probably the way you would expect.
Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diane, but you said you were surprised to see the room trashed when you got back. To clarify, you're saying that you two never had a physical fight?
What? Physical? We never fought. We never fought like that. Did the police say we did?
They assumed as much, which means they also assumed the room was disheveled well before the shooting occurred. Considering what Carlos has told me, what else did they assume? We both reached for the gun from the musical Chicago. Okay. Interesting. I do not know that musical. I'm not really a musical person. I've only seen, like, a few musicals, and there's only, like, 3 that stand out to me of just, like, those were good.
What is it?
I recommend it. It has some good songs. Okay. Is it on YouTube for free? I'd like you to take a look at something for me. The crime scene.
Oh,
It's an AR module built from data taken as the police entered, so...
right. It's just that.
It's just data, Carlos. No grisly details.
Okay.
Songs are neat. Yeah. For the record, the 3 musicals that I'm like, those stick out in my mind. One of them is The Guy Who Doesn't Like Musicals. I was specifically shown it because I didn't watch musicals. Then I was shown Twisted by Starcake. Not Starcake. Starkid. Starcake's a different channel. Starcake's my friends. Starkid is just a musical channel. And then third musical is The Epic Musical, which doesn't have any visuals, but it's still great.
Okay, let me see it.
Take your time.
All right. I think I've got it. Odysseus and Hold Him Down are pretty good. Yeah.
There's a funny little thing of when I'm playing like Marvel Rivals and it's like we're in that mode of where it's just do we keep going? My brain will just replace the lines of Hold Them Down and just go one more round, one more round, one more round. It's like, okay, one more round. That's how the police found things. Now close your eyes and think back to how the room looked when you left. Try and focus on what's out of place.
All right.
I'll take notes. You just say whatever comes to mind.
I don't remember exactly where everything was. But, well, the mirror was upright, of course. And the clock was still on the wall. The chair got knocked over at some point, and the bed got tossed, the cushions torn, and the urn fell. Other than that, nope. Sorry. That's all that stands out to me.
I see. Like so? What's wrong? Something out of place? Carlos, you need to trust your instinct. If anything seems off, don't be afraid to speak up. Morgan is so proud.
It's just... I guess I just assumed your notes would be making edits to the AR.
Well, I suppose that works too. The little thing that hit her head was just her own crumpled up piece of paper.
Sorry, I didn't mean.
Carlos Flat's testimony on the state of the crime scene when he left the apartment. The mirror was upright, that clock was on the wall, the chair got knocked over, the bed got tossed, the cushions torn.
I think your drawing was pretty good, considering...
I'd like to change the subject now, Carlos.
Right.
Let's talk about the letter that was found on your desk.
Letter? What do you mean?
Sorry, someone's being funny in chat. This is how they go one more round while dinner gets colder. One more round while we slowly age. One more round while the femboy gets bolder. It's quite a rhyme there. Where in the hell is our pride and our rage? I mean, this letter here. Do you recognize it? Because the police are calling it a confession.
A confession? But this is just a note to self.
Pardon?
Look, when we fight, I lose my temper. Say things I don't mean to. So this morning, I tried writing things down so I'd have a script to stick to. So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her.
Carlos, you say in the note that you hurt them.
That's... I broke her fidget tubies.
Her what? Her what?
Her fidget tubies.
And what's your vibe? I love this song.
They're these collectible ceramic character things. Could you believe Pop Mart still exists?
Wow, really?
Yeah. They're supposed to be like tactile. You use them as paperweights or conversation starters.
Conversation starters.
She loved those little things. They're not worth a damn. You can buy them at any flea market or garage sale, but they meant a lot to her. And I broke them. I mean, I was pissy at the time. But that goddamn piece of shit rental arm, I hardly know where I'm swinging it half the time. I got so angry I just ripped it off and tossed it in my room. That cheap, dusty, worthless...
Okay. Let's say he did break her frigid duckies with his replacement arm. Record show that was provided with this model. Discarded in frustration after smashing into the victim's collectibles and has not been worn since.
Fidget tubies, collectible and fragile ceramic conversation starters. The victim's personal collection was pulverized by Carlos Flat's replacement prosthetic arm in the morning of the murder. Evidently, an acquired taste.
Why does this one have a different audio? I thought I recorded the audio here. Why does it sound so different? Fidget tubies, wee! Broke her fidget toys, dump him. Well, sorry to say, Barbara, she's dead. What does that change? Nothing at the moment. There's not enough detail in the note for me to prove what his intent was when he sat down to write it. But if the police insist on claiming it's a confession for the heartbreak killings anyway, couldn't even bother to sweep them up, so I felt so... Alright, Carlos. Thanks for answering my questions. Now I'm going to call the police back in here, and I'm going to get this cleared up for you.
What? That's it?
That's it?
Oh, okay.
Although, before I do that, I do have to ask, what do you know about the Heartbreak Killer?
Heartbreak? You mean that psycho that was trending all month? I mean, as much as anyone, I guess? I haven't been getting out much, but I'm sure everybody's on edge. A guy like that out there, he shoots people through the heart, right?
The police have kept the victim's appearances far away from any upstanding news sources. So, unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblance to his girlfriend.
I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that doesn't mean anything, does it?
If he's this slow on the uptake, it's going to be a real shock when those officers walk in here and accuse him of being a serial killer. I'll just have to squash that theory. you should subscribe right now. Tell your friends. Stream is live. It will be live for another 2 hours. That is all the time you have. Talk to your friends. Be alive. As quickly and definitively as possible. 4:04 a.m. June 5th, 2086.
I didn't realize you could smoke in here.
Technically, I can smoke wherever I want. For a fee.
I guess so.
Nervous? Don't be. I'm the one who's on the clock.
Right. I'm sure this isn't your first time doing this.
No, of course not. It will be my first homicide defense, though.
Oh?
Why does everyone always think the first time's so goddamn important? Hey, cheer up. I've got relevant work experience in other areas.
Oh. And what areas are those?
You ever gamble, Carlos?
No, ma'am. I never go anywhere near those loot boxes. Won't touch this stuff.
I meant more like playing cards.
Oh, well then, no to that too. I've actually got pretty terrible luck.
Could have fooled me. Well, what I do is a lot like poker, Carlos. Poker's nice because even if you're dealt nothing but crap all night long, you can still win, which makes things pretty fun.
Okay, so, do you have a good poker face?
I'd like to think so.
And, are you lucky?
Only when the stakes are high.
And, in this metaphor, we're playing poker? And the state's the dealer?
If only. No, the state's more like the house.
You mean like the house always wins?
Yes. They're very good at it. Winning, I mean. That's why they're up there and we're down here. That's why they're the house.
What is that buzzing noise? So what do we do?
We play the cards we're dealt as best we can. Win more hands than we lose. Keep it up, and eventually someone will come over and tap the dealer on the shoulder and whisper something in their ear. And then we'll be politely asked to leave.
That doesn't sound very triumphant.
The house always wins. So our definition of victory is more like don't lose.
Thanks, Morgan. But I guess I was more asking, like, what should I say?
Just leave all the talking to me.
So that's the strategy? What's up?
You know, there's a saying about gamblers with strategies. Yo! Ready to confess yet? 'Cause I already woke up the DA! Already? She must be new. The district attorneys have final say on whether or not a case is brought to trial. Only fair since they're the ones who ended up having to actually prove the damn thing. Most of them prefer simple, guilty pleas over long, protracted trials. And they all dislike having their time wasted. Unfortunately, then, you'll have to call them back. Because my client is not guilty. And frankly, I'm not even sure you have enough to hold him here.
Right. What she said.
You've got a weird sense of humor, counselor. Different generations, I guess. Before my time, kind of thing.
I'm very serious when it comes to defending a man's innocence, detective.
Counselor, we have your client. This is really close to Carlos. I need to, pull it more towards the southern. We have your client's written confession.
His written confession. Let's start there.
Okay. Well,
We'll be happy to.
The thrust of every argument starts with the facts. What's already known and agreed upon. Public knowledge for every player at the table.
It's pretty simple, counselor. Real paint by numbers stuff. See, we found a note at his apartment with his fingerprints on it, apologizing for how he hurt them all so bad. Now, how are you planning on spinning that?
Those are the facts. But I've been building up my hand all night. And now I've got the weapons to answer anything they try to throw at me.
Well,
My client did write that note, and it was an apology, but not for murder. He was apologizing for... Halt! Heads up! Analyze the facts as they're laid out. Then review the response in your hand. Select the card that best answers the argument and place it into the slot on the right. You can mouse over your opponent's portrait for a reminder on what key point you're answering.
he wrote a confession.
A murder weapon linked to 5 other crimes. He was simply apologizing for this.
The hell is that?
I found myself asking that exact same question.
What are we looking at here? Something from the crime scene?
This diagram of the room, it's created from data you captured, right?
Pretty non-GMO augmented reality crime scene data. Yeah.
What's non-GMO?
Not much these days.
Notice anything out of place?
Yeah, the whole room's full of busted shit. It's the scene of a murder.
Full of busted shit for sure. But I was more referring to the unidentified ceramic debris found on the western side of the room.
The hell is that?
Ceramic debris, huh? Must have been from the vase that got tossed.
Actually, that's not possible.
Oh?
Because that vase is fake. Wasn't damaged, wasn't here. It's not damaged. It's not possible for that debris to have come from the vase. Ceramic Dibby. Hello, Perry. Because that vase is still pristine.
How is that?
How is that possible?
Hmm?
The lady at that garage sale told me it was so old and delicate. Damn it. The one time I try and thrift shop on my own.
Well, so what? What does it even matter?
If the vase doesn't have a scratch on it,
Then the debris must have come from somewhere else. That debris is what my client wrote that apology over. You're saying that confession was his apology for not vacuuming? I am, because that pile of rubble is all that remains of the victim's collection of Fiji attack.
fidget tubies.
What he said. Mr. Flat broke the victim's ceramic figures by accident. And this impassioned note to self was just his attempt at scripting out an apology.
Can you prove that?
We're taking this seriously? As much as I wish we weren't. La boo boo! Yep, fucking la boo boos. We're all in agreement that my client wrote that note. And we can all plainly see that there's ceramic debris at the crime scene. Now, since it couldn't have come from the vase, it must have come from the collectibles. Simple, right? The hell are you on about? The entire room was trashed, as the arcs clearly show. Those fidget tubies must have been pulverized during the struggle, too. You really gonna claim he sat down to write an apology for breaking your toys after gunning her down? Not a bad train of thought, but I can do better. Dang, girl, how your boobs do that in your poor shirt? I have big bahabalabalus, big watermelons, big milkers, big jugs. Yep, out of all of this, it's all super serious. This is like very cyberpunk, noir style detective stuff. I don't know if it's realistic. It just feels more serious compared to Ace Attorney's goofiness. Though we are talking about fidget tubies. But then there's Morgan's physical design with the crazy anime hair, the big boobs, and it's just like... I like this kind of mix. I like when the stories are serious and the character designs are not. I like fantastical character design. Because why not? It's fiction. Have fun. No, those collectibles were destroyed much earlier than that. And there's proof. The note? No. The gun? No. The arm that's...
Stiff and unwieldy, a dusty fidget tubie slayer in police custody. This is the voice for Sarah.
No, it's not. Just take a closer look at the rental you took into custody.
Huh?
One swipe of your finger should show exactly how devastating it was to the fickle buddy ecosystem. It's fidget tubies. Whatever. You did take it into custody. I'm sure your techs found ceramic debris on it, yes?
Now that you mention it...
Fine, whatever. He broke them with his arm. While he was killing her. Happy. Overjoyed. Because
even a cheap arm's got an operating system that had logged the last time it was worn, right?
Right.
See, I happened to spot a footnote on the lab report. Said the rental hadn't been used since the AM.
Whose side are you on, old man?
It's gotten pretty late, sunshine. Just trying to save us all some time where I can.
Well, thank you for your service. Well, thank you for your service. Are you seriously buying this crap? Just look at how scrawled, how
panicked that note is. You expect me to believe he was that upset over a fidget tubey collection? One that hasn't even been graded?
Setting aside Detective Reyes' surprising depth of knowledge when it comes to collectibles, she's just like me for real. You're correct. They held no real monetary value. It would be odd for Carlos to be shaken over their loss. But so what?
So what?
After all, that's not panic you're seeing on the page. No, the only reason that note looks the way it does is because Carlos is sensitive.
The engineer is engineer. No.
Is right-handed. Because Carlos is right-handed.
Yes, I am. Did they not know that? Shouldn't that be on like my permanent record or something?
So the reason why that note looks like an asylum wall scribbles
Is because he had to use his left hand to write it.
I tend to think better writing than typing. And I need to get used to using my left anyways. I just thought it could be good practice.
Has to be an investment for an odd hobby.
Yep. Taking that into account, alongside the ceramics.
Your slam dunk confession is looking about as watertight as a fishnet.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Forget about the confession. Congratulations, counselor. You've established that your client's remorseless. Now, let's get back to the reality of the situation. Here are the facts. We found your client at the scene of the crime, wearing a coat covered in the victim's blood, right next to a big old goddamn gun. That's just so happened to have his fingerprints on it.
That's right. That coat is...
What, you gonna claim it's not his? That he actually wears an extra small?
She's trying to bait me in her typical low-key fashion. Halt! Heads up! As the arguments flow, you won't always have the stronger hand. Sometimes the best bet you can do is hold your tongue and avoid overcommitting. Try to lose as little credit as possible while you wait for a more favorable chance. She must have something. No sense in playing into it. Though, there is a more pressing issue than what she's... Oh, look at Morgan's little pouty face. It's tea time.
Oh, do we get tea time in detention? Of course. We're not evil, you know. Not all the way down.
Something you'd like to ask me, detective?
I'm just curious. What'll be next? You gonna tell me he actually wears an extra small?
Raise. I have no argument to raise, so I'll stay. Gee, Carlos, do you?
No?
Yeah, sure. There's no evil twin you're forgetting to mention?
No, I'm afraid not.
Not even gonna go for a mysterious third party at the scene of the crime?
To prove his innocence, I will need to get there eventually. But going there now, without hard evidence. I have no evidence of a third person at this time.
Damn right you don't. It's as clear as day in the arcs. No evidence of anyone but Carlos being there that night. So keep dreaming.
It was obvious she had something there. I wasn't going to win that hand either way. But at least I didn't overstep and take any more damage than I had to. We're not contesting any of that, Detective. My client freely admits to holding that gun. He picked it up in confusion after coming home to find a brutal crime scene, which was not smart.
Hey,
But not illegal either.
And that's all? He had her blood all over his clothes.
Yes, he did.
right.
Do you have those clothes on hand, by the way?
The lab finished with them a while ago.
What are you getting at?
It'll be easier just to show you. Would you mind getting them for me?
You know what? Sure, I could use the fresh air. Stinks of bullshit in here anyway.
And here I thought the room smelled like... Psst! Morgan! What are you doing? My coat's covered in her blood! I remember that much! So doesn't that, like, make me look really bad?
Just relax, Carlos.
I'm pretty sure that's impossible.
You're innocent. And that means having more evidence will always help you, not hurt you.
Really?
Really? Not really. Green Morgan. Plenty of innocent people in prison. People with bad luck. Or bad lawyers. Quizzical, Green Morgan. People shouldn't count on the truth to come out so easily. More often than not, it takes coaxing.
What was it that reminded me of?
Alright, here it is. One blood-stained jacket fresh from the lab. So what's your angle? You gonna tell us that this is actually just hot sauce?
No, that would be silly. Ace Attorney, game number 3, case number 3.
She actually thought it over.
So, what the hell's your point? Hey,
Sorry, just got thrown off by the turn of good fortune.
what good fortune?
You should thank the detective for bringing you your jacket, Carlos. She's just proven your innocence. My client was arrested wearing this coat. He would have been wearing it at the time of the murder. It has the victim's blood on it, who we know died when she was shot in the heart by a gun that happens to be an old world pre-tagging firearm.
And
And so this coat proves he couldn't have been the shooter.
is there a gas leak in here? In what world does that make any sense?
Sense that happens to be key here. I just need to draw their attention to what they can. Sniff, sniff. It's an old gun. It leaves powder. It reeks. Just do me one favor, detective. Tell me what you smell.
I don't smell anything except dried blood.
Exactly! The coat smells like blood, but it doesn't smell of...
Cigarette. That's what I've been smelling.
Yes, Detective London. I was smoking earlier. Could you rejoin the conversation?
I've been listening. You wanted me to smell the jacket.
If you would.
Let's see. Huh. No gunpowder.
What? What about gunpowder? Oh, don't blame yourself for not noticing. This was before your time.
You can't be more than a few years older than me.
It's the same thing I said. I love how Reyes and Morgan say the same stuff.
Come on!
But not before your partners, it seems. See, gunpowder's weak by today's standards. But it's still volatile stuff. Hard to store, prone to misfiring. And when it goes bang, it leaves behind an awful lot of evidence.
The hell is she talking about, London?
Modern firearms, like the ones we carry, use electricity, magnetism, even air pressure, sound waves. They got more accuracy, more firepower, less recoil, less noise, and they don't leave behind any residue.
Gunpowder residue?
You talked my ear off about how difficult it is tracking down a gun that doesn't leave digital traces. But a revolver like this one? It'd leave gunpowder on the skin of whoever fired it for days.
So, then his coat.
If you don't trust your noses, you can check the lab reports. I think if they found any gunpowder on my client or his clothes, they'd have taken the time to highlight it.
Ugh. Well, whatever! That just means he washed off after shooting her, or he changed his clothes.
That's not impossible. But it'd be pretty pointless.
Huh?
His jacket and his left hand were blood-soaked when your officers found him. Would he really go through all the efforts to get rid of something as subtle as gunpowder residue? Just to get the victim's blood all over himself afterwards?
Oh.
In light of these details, I'd like to formally request that you reconsider the charges Mr. Flat is facing. As soon as possible.
Whoa.
They're faltering now. Should topple over at any moment. The letter was mostly icing on the cake for them. But that gun is all they had to link Carlos to any of the shootings. So if it looks like he never actually fired the gun, I'll admit, things were a little dicey there at times.
Different flavored Reyes.
But once I was able to grasp the situation,
Like a mint London? I don't know. I don't really eat ice cream. I know Baja Blast.
what?
Oh yeah, that got banned like 3 years ago.
The smaller pieces fell into place easily enough. Yeah, most people don't remember Baja Blast. It got removed 3 years ago because it was causing memory leaks in both technology and people. The only people who weren't affected are people who had HRT in their systems. Very strange coincidence. Not my cleanest work by far, but overall I'd say... Did she get a message? I love Reyes. Reyes is so cool. Reyes... I legitimately had trouble of just like, who do I want as a charm on my phone? Do I want cute android girl Sarah? Do I want Reyes, who I love conceptually, but I am just still kind of iffy of just like, she's a cop. Please, make her no longer a cop. Please, let her see the error of her ways. Please, let her be with Morgan. Please. And I also love Morgan. So I chose Sarah because cute. Oh, we got a new piece of evidence. Flat's coat. The coat the suspect was wearing when taken into custody. Back from analysis. Blood on the sleeve that matches the victim with 99.989% certainty.
No other details of forensic significance found.
Who the hell was that? I don't know. You pulled it from the lab.
Ooh, now I'm like an orange creamsicle. Or like a Cheeto. Wait, did they actually manage to find it?
Something you'd like to share, Detective Reyes? You're good. Twisting the truth into knots, making the facts work for you. Thanks. But your luck just ran out. Because the net scrubbers found a cam active at the exact moment of the shooting. And right now, I'm staring at a photo of the killer. Wanna bet? A photo of the shooter. If she had that, we wouldn't be still talking. But I doubt she's just pulling this out of her ass. She's got something from the scrubbers. I'm not sure I follow, Detective. Didn't we establish that there was an optics blackout during the shooting? Sure, there was. But this isn't from optics. Losing that one credit is unavoidable. If you choose the other one, you lose two. Trust me, I know! Good thing I held my tongue, otherwise I wouldn't be able to afford a Sarah keychain. As I thought, the scrubbers must have managed to dig up something from outside the network. Which means... Party's over, counselor. Feast your eyes on this. Well. Okay. The quality is lacking. And yet, there it is. They managed to find a quarter needle of evidence in a whole city block of haystacks. What are the goddamn chances? No. With the scale their tools operate on, I guess the chances are, as always, in their favor. Alright, this isn't good, but it's a far cry from the worst case scenario I've envisioned. You could even say I got lucky, which means the stakes are... Well, it's a little bit... blurry. Don't look at me, I didn't take the damn thing. Technically, no one took it. Looks like at the time of the shooting, a neighbor was on their phone.
Probably venting about how crazy the couple across the way was acting. But if their phone was on, its camera would be on.
This is one of the scariest lines in the whole demo of just like if you just simply had your phone on, the camera is operational. It's like those little laptop things you stick on your camera to just be like, you don't know when someone accesses that camera, so just cover it up. I remember my dad being like really ahead of that, and he just made his own by just cutting up a piece of paper that he could just flip around that just sat on like his webcam for his work laptop, because he didn't even trust his own work to not do something shady. And it was very funny. It's like, what's that for? He's like, it's for the camera. It might be on, but I can't tell, so I just have that to have peace of mind. And it's like, Interesting. And then like 2 years later, I see all these like different products online and in stores like at Target and Walmart of like, use this to cover up your laptop camera. It's like, oh my gosh, how is my dad always ahead of the curve?
And so, we managed to get this shot through the window.
Where to begin? Far away, unfocused, ultra-low resolution, zoomed in, blurred, color shifted, and so compressed it looks like it's from another century.
There are tools that could
enhance this image any further, and I could count the pixels on one hand. And you could kiss its admissibility in court goodbye. You can't honestly claim that you can identify my client from this image, and there's no way in hell you could get this past a judge.
Yeah, you're probably right. We couldn't. But I think I know a DA that could. Either way, it doesn't seem like your client's leaving this police station anytime soon. That photo. What the hell is happening to me?
think I know a DA that could. Don't be so modest, old man. We have photo evidence of a left-handed shooter standing in the hallway at the same time the whole neighborhood heard a gunshot. And who do we know who had their left-hand fingerprints all over that gun?
You're referring to my client?
You think? We've established he wasn't wearing his modded arm at all tonight. So he must have shot with his left.
Yes, and we've also established that he's weak with his left side. A left side that had no gunpowder residue whatsoever.
Forensics will never be perfect, counselor. Sometimes we miss things. I fired, then I missed. Sometimes you take a walk through the rain, and when you finally get to where you were going, you somehow end up dry. But that doesn't mean it didn't rain. All of which is to say, before judge or jury, photographic evidence outweighs a failed sniff test.
Carlos is innocent. I know he is. But that photo shows a left-handed shooter. Carlos is innocent. That photo is real. If both are true, then that means that photo doesn't show what it appears to show.
So, at a loss for words?
Never! I'm just confused about one thing. Where was this photo taken from exactly?
Exactly? The positional data is usually only accurate to the nearest public router. If we dig in on the phone's owner and ask them where...
Why bother with any of that? Ballistics and common sense tell us that the prep shooting from the room's door... You make me flustered, Morgan.
Don't you mean frustrated?
I know what I said, Poindexter. Ballistics and basic common sense tell us that the perp shot from the room's doorway. The front entrance of the apartment faces to the south. There's a hallway that runs back to the bedroom. We're looking straight at the shooter, so it's pretty obvious that this was taken from across the north window.
From the north? If this is from the north, then why can we clearly see... Let's look at that piece of evidence just a bit closer. A bird's eye view of the crime scene as discovered by the police, captured within the ARC systems, shows the northern window facing the southern hallway, where the shooter stood, shows the western window facing the eastern wall. Who is recording these notes? Data recovered from an unknown citizen's phone camera at the time of the shooting. Because the camera was not set to photo mode at the time, the amount and quality of visual data available was severely limited. File markers for post-capture multi-spectrum large image enhancing indicate that the photo has already been cleaned up as best as possible.
It's not that complicated. The neighbor who got the shot must live on the other side of the street. So we're looking into the bedroom from the north window.
If she's wrong, I should seize on the opportunity to start turning the tide. She's right. The photo was taken from the north. She's wrong. The photo was taken from the west. I'm afraid that's simply not possible, Detective. This photo has to have been taken from the west.
What kind of bluff is that supposed to be?
The good detectives are misinformed here, and I need to take advantage of it. Time to press the initiative.
Did you get your tea?
I have my tea. See, here it is. I can't really show it. I don't have a face cam or anything like that.
The hell do you mean this was taken from the west?
The autopsy tells us the victim was shot from the doorway. Your officer's ARC's data tells us the precise location of everything in the room at the time they arrived. And now your photo has shown us the exact moment of the shooting.
And?
Halt! You can now raise the ante on your hand up to the current max. Answer wrong and you lose more credit, but answer correctly, and you can bank up more credit for trickier hands down the line. And altogether, that tells us that this photo must have been taken through the west window. As long as you consider
Maximum!
Here it is. The mirror was upright. Clock was on the wall. Cushions in bed were neat. Why can we see the clock? Just take one look at the clock in that photo.
The clock? What about it?
The clock, huh?
Seems like London's got an idea. If he's mistaken, I could pounce on it to keep my tempo high.
This photo was taken right before the shooting, so... Wait, don't tell me the time of death is wrong.
He's wrong. The time of death is correct. He's right. The time of death could be wrong. That's a good question, Detective London. But the answer is no. The autopsy, the clock, and the neighbors all agree that the time of death was 9 p.m.
Right, no mistaking that.
So then, what the hell were you on about?
There's a clock on the wall in this photo, analog style, and it reads 9 o'clock.
9 p.m., the time of the shooting. The hell's so special about it?
Nothing. There's nothing odd about the time the clock reads, but do you remember there being a clock in the room?
What?
Actually, I don't recall there being a clock.
That makes sense. You wouldn't recall seeing a clock. Because when the police secured the scene, the clock had already been knocked onto the floor.
And?
The only clock in that room is in the northeastern corner. And my client has informed me that before the crime, it was hung up on the eastern wall. Like so. So proud. Proud, Morgan.
What the hell is that supposed to be?
An artistic rendition.
It's, very distinct.
If you had information on how the crime scene was before the shooting, why didn't you just add that to the arcs? And show my hand. Just because discovery law compels us to share info, doesn't mean we have to play fair, detective. Slipped my mind. I'll do that now. The important thing is, if that clock was on the eastern wall before the shooting occurred,
Then this photo must be looking through the western window to see it.
Don't start getting ahead of yourself. The victim was shot at 9 p.m., the same time that this photo was taken of the shooter. But if you want to claim that the clock's still on the eastern wall, it would have been knocked down during the fighting.
you've got your logic backwards, detective. Your precious photo shows that the room was pristine at the time of shooting. And there's one other piece of evidence that proves exactly how the cards fell.
Maximum!
From your broken crime scene, shards fell onto the victim.
Glass shards? What about them?
Nothing much, really. Only that they're on top of the victim's body, and not under it.
If the glass fell on top of the victim's body, that would mean...
That she was dead on the ground before the room got trashed.
But that's...
That doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone trash the room afterwards?
It's a good question, Carlos. Luckily, it's the detectives who have to delve into the minds of the criminally insane, not us. Tell me, detectives, were there any signs of a struggle at the other crime scenes?
Other crime scenes? No, nothing like that. Those attacks would have been over in a matter of seconds.
So, what did you think when you saw the mess in the bedroom?
that this was personal, and things had gotten complicated. Shit happens.
Shit does happen, detective. But in this case, it seems there's been a general misconception about the order in which shit happened.
So what if the room didn't get tossed until after? He still shot her. And we have a photo right here.
And I'm glad you do, detective, because that photo proves my client's innocence. Proving that it wasn't my client who pulled the trigger is difficult. And maybe more importantly for all of us, time-consuming. Thanks to your photo, I can instantly prove that it couldn't have been my client who pulled the trigger. Because the man in that photo can't possibly be Carlos.
Like hell it can.
The glass shards prove that the room was pristine at the time of shooting. And we know that until the room was tossed, that clock was on the eastern wall. Which means that this photo of the shooter was taken from the west.
Back to that shit. Back to this shit? That's impossible! The only hallway in that apartment runs from north to south. The only person with prints on that gun is your client. And the only fact that matters is that he used it to murder 6 innocent people.
You're a very honest person,
detective.
Excuse me? That's why you're such a shitty gambler. You've played your cards too early, and now I can steal the pot right out from under you. You're right about the hallway's orientation. You're right about the prince. And this HK figure has claimed 6 lives. But we aren't looking at the hallway in that photo.
What?
What we're seeing is...
Yeah! Maximum bets! Let's go!
What we're looking at is
The victim!
No cams at time of shooting. Flats may have known.
Worthless ceramic smashed my Flat's arms!
victim's stand-up mirror, not digital.
In the shop for 6+ weeks. Flat replaced right arm for work.
What is that? You trying the glass shards again?
Sort of. By the way, do you recall where those glass shards came from?
Yeah, sure. They came from
From a standing mirror. A mirror that, at the time of the shooting, stood across the room from the western window.
But then, that would mean...
At that angle, from that viewpoint,
It would reflect the hallway. So, you're not seeing a shooter with a gun in their left hand. You're seeing a killer take aim with their right arm. And as we all know, my client hasn't had a working right arm in a number of weeks, and he hasn't worn his rental since this morning. So, I meant what I said about that photo. I'm glad it was recovered, because it just proved that my client couldn't possibly have committed this crime.
Why is that so damn hot?
why is that so damn hot?
That should be the end of it. Except it looks like Detective Reyes really is a novice gambler. Left and rights are made up. Oh, really? Really? Then how are you always right? Huh? Huh? Sunk cost has gotten its teeth in her now, clawing up her spine, whispering wounded pride in her ear. It's a cold sweat, hot palms kind of fever. The impotent, irrational fury of losing something you thought was guaranteed yours. But, lucky for you, Detective, I'm well versed in shock therapy. You look dissatisfied, Detective Reyes.
That's one word for it.
Then allow me to put a nice bow on everything for you. In summary, my client's so-called confession was just a note to self. The police found him in shock, reeling at the death of his girlfriend, and arrested him for being next to a gun he forensically couldn't have fired. After being confronted with these facts, you received photographic evidence of the exact moment of the shooting, and instead of utilizing said photo to track down the real killer, you tried to claim it depicting my client, a man without the requisite limb, standing in an architectural impossible hallway.
That's... He could have had a backup arm. He could have stolen one.
A little stubbornness can be charming, but this kind of desperation is ugly.
It's getting late. Time to bare my fangs.
A bit. That's the best you've got. Even a bare bones prosthetic off the black market needs to be attuned to an individual's nervous system. He'd have to bring it to a clinic, which would have left a record on his shoulder OS. A record you won't find. And he'd still have to somehow have gotten rid of it before the police arrived. SOP at the scene of the violent crime calls for a full spectrum scanning of the entire building and in 100 meters around it, minimum. So where, Detective Reyes, did he manage to hide a cybernetic arm from your drones in the time between the shooting and his arrest? Well? Any objections? Detective?
God damn it!
Fold. Show me your hand, Flat. You're uncuffing me? In the light of the evidence, we have no reason to hold you.
Now I gotta call the DA and tell her I made a mistake.
Not we made a mistake? Huh. Listen, kid, you should know.
Detective?
Lost my train of thought. But hey, your attorney's a real tiger, and she just fought like hell for you. Make sure you thank her properly. Public defense doesn't pay that well. Yeah.
That's kind of you to say, Detective. But my work is its own reward.
Sure. I feel exactly the same, counselor. What happens now?
I'll have to speak with the DA about the dismissal. And there's still some paperwork we need to go through. But basically, you're free to go. Congrats! You get to leave the casino with your kneecaps intact. Give me a sec. I need to message someone. I'm messaging someone to show up and watch the stream so they can see some pretty funny dialogue that's about to show up. All right. Perfect. Cameras are on.
Yay? But what do I do? What am I supposed to do?
The detectives will continue their investigation.
Their investigation into heartbreak? Huh?
Yes. When the authorities are satisfied with their examination of the body, she'll be handed over to the next of kin. And then you can make funeral arrangements.
No, that's not what I...
Oh?
Diane being gone is bad enough. But a serial killer? It's like she died of the flu. It doesn't happen anymore.
People die of the flu all the time, but I know what you mean.
I can't make sense of it. What am I supposed to do?
Hell if I know. There are some contacts I could give you. Services, professionals, doctors.
No, you've done more than enough for me. When you got here, I was too tired to even defend myself, to try and convince them that I didn't. You saved me. Thank you.
You're welcome, Carlos. But it's my job to.
No, I mean, thank you for not asking.
Huh?
For not asking if I killed her.
Oh, Carlos. I didn't need to ask. I knew you were innocent from the start. Of course he was. After all. The blood's always different. Heart's always in the same place. Easy to find. Hard to miss. But the blood's always different. A flowering stain, unfurling towards an invisible sun. A perfectly unique bloom. Only one for each of us. A Rorschach test with singular, universal meaning. Vitality at its climax. Bursting forth into a red fractal consisting solely of an infinite the end. But the comical thud of a body hitting the floor has its own kind of lowbrow appeal. Yesterday, 8:59 p.m., June 4th, 2086. Last night, I should say. Bullet number 6 of 6. The gun's empty. It's useless to me now. May as well leave it. Feels like a waste, but whatever. Finding the ammo was almost enough of a hassle to outweigh the advantages. I could sell an untagged gun for a bit of cash, but cash can't buy you peace of mind. Oh, don't look so surprised, lady. Moping around in the dark in here, must have only been able to see my silhouette. Did she think I was her boyfriend? Back for an encore of that enthralling conversation? Can't ask her now.
Yeah, did you hear that too?
These old pieces are so goddamn loud. And people aren't even familiar enough with the sound anymore to know to run the other way. Probably roused half the neighborhood.
So we've confirmed her type is brunettes.
Pri, you're saying a lot of funny shit. Remember last stream where you were like, what if she killed her and that's why she doesn't ask if Carlos is innocent? Yes, exactly. That is what happened.
But I didn't see anything I could use as even a partial suppressor on the way in. Could they really not afford some throw pillows?
Yes, you did. You did say that. You made a statement of just like, what if Morgan's the killer? And I had to keep my trap shut.
I used the other 5 bullets in outdoor spaces. In small spheres of blind opportunity that the city's eyes couldn't think to pierce. Cramped places, usually full of trash.
But this room, as cheap as it is, at least clean, organized.
Oi, sorry about that.
But this room, as cheap as it looks, is at least clean, organized even. So the corpse adds a certain satisfying contrast. Except there's shit on the floor. By the window, there are broken pieces of something fragile and tacky. It's fine. It's just one thing out of place. Actually, it's not fine. Actually, it's really irritating. I kick over the stupid goddamn mirror. 5%. 5 perfect crime scenes. Each of them, not a speck of evidence, nothing to go on. And for the final shot, there just has to be some pile of shit in the corner, ruining everything. I kick the wall. Something falls from it, probably more tasteless bullshit. I toss over the chair, knock the urn, tear into the sheets with my frustration, and try to savor the shredding. If it can't be clean, I'll just have to lean into the messy angle. At least it will be consistent. This was all so stupid. Honestly, I'm not the ego-driven type. In fact, I pride myself on my humility. See how bright Morgan is? She's brightened up. This is what she does. Now, was it satisfying when the first 3 went down with single shots? Yes. But so what? I'm not made of stone. After that, I did start to actively aim for the heart. But heartbreak killer? Really? I am also very humble. Barbara, have you killed anyone? Barbara?
I think that might just be blood.
Could be. The Deadpool theory. She just has red hair to hide the blood.
Don't people have anything better to do with their time? What kind of miserable, lifeless voyeurs would obsess over something that's none of their business? All of the threads and breakdowns on the goddamn theory crafting. And all that for the heartbreak killer. Sounds like a soap opera villain from a season where the writers were on strike. I'd feel insulted by the label, but no. That's someone else's name. They came up with it. They spread it. They marketed it. Heartbreak's got nothing to do with me. He's just some reclusive, lonely, socially impotent loser who shot 6 people because... Well, I'm sure people will come up with something. That he got rejected one too many times or whatever. Me, I killed those people because I saw them and I wanted to. And I've killed a lot more than just 6. Subscribe right now and tell your friends about the stream. There's an hour left. And this is not done. We still have a lot more to talk about. There's another character who has a lot of dialogue coming up. At least the room is thoroughly trashed now. If I had just walked away after seeing that mess by the window, it would have irritated me to no end.
And now that it doesn't match the MO of the last 5 perfectly, it'll irritate the cops to no end instead. Good riddance, Heartbreak. You enjoy your 15 minutes in the spotlight. Really savor it. I'm going home. The air's weighty tonight. Thick. Energized. A heavily foreshadowed summer rain I can feel on every hair. They call this kind of humidity oppressive, but I disagree. The warm tension on your skin, like in those short moments just after the shower turns off, when the steam lingers. Yeah, it's always most comfortable right afterwards. Maybe there's no disagreement to be had. Oppressive things can be comforting too. Only the guilty ones run. I don't know about that. But I know I've never felt guilty about any of this. And I walk.
5:01 a.m., June 5th, 2086. Sorry, using my left is still...
That's okay. You can just initial in those spots. I took a scenic route home, courtesy of our fine city's sprawling public transport, and got in a bit after 11 p.m. I had myself a thorough shower, drank a glass of milk, did some stretching, made sure my phone was on. Time went by evenly. Around 1:40 a.m., a posting for public defender work came up. Decent rate. It was so late and so urgent. I had wagered correctly that the boyfriend would have enough sense to ask for a lawyer, and enough debt that he'd need to be provided one. Gamble. Gamble. Strategy. Quote. Did you mean how to start gambling? How to bet sports on phone?
A gambler with a system must be, to a lesser or greater extent, insane.
George Augustus Sala, journalist, 1828,
1895. Goodness gracious, that's old.
Profiles. Heartbreak. Hi. Heartbreak. Date of birth. December 26th. Height, 175 centimeters. Weight. Just straight up leaves. Blood type, AB negative. Occupation, criminal. Defense attorney. Likes, high places. Gambling. Guns. Dislikes, nosy people. Mud. Headphones. Hobby, batting cages. Favorite dish, mapo tofu. Cannot carry a tune.
That confuses me. She just put that in her hot phone as a name she doesn't like.
How I see it is, this is both Morgan's phone and not Morgan's phone. This is Morgan's phone, literally, but like the articles, the profiles, the evidence, and a lot of this other stuff, this is just for the player. Morgan does have a phone. It might look like this, but we can't really say. It's just a fun stylistic thing. So I don't take it as just like, this is her putting down all these different names and stuff. It's just a fun little diegetic way to, like, you know, be distracted by a phone. Look at your evidence and stuff instead of being like, I have a case file that I look in. It's a phone. We're in the future. Use a phone. And I like it because it's great characterization, because earlier in the first stream, when we had flats, it only said, like, all these, like, has he been convicted for something? Is he, like, all these, like, very uncharitable things. And then the second we ask about Carlos, about what is he like, it then gave us all of this, because he's a person. He has likes. He likes poppies. He has all these different little things, like liking cashews. It's just a fun little diegetic thing, and we had earlier the profile of Heartbreak, and so I think it's just a fun little thing to just replace it with Morgan just being brutally honest about herself.
But that was the one break from diegetic, really?
It's a game. It's fun. Don't know what more to say. All I had to do was stay awake. There wasn't much competition after 1 in the morning.
Okay, where else?
Here and here. How did I phrase it earlier? Criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. Why wouldn't I take on a job where I already knew more than the cops? It would have been easy to convince Carlos to plead out. I would have gotten paid the same too. But easy is dangerous. Carlos was, of course, innocent, so his conviction would never be airtight. There would be doubts, questions, appeals, maybe even fans, depending on his looks. More attention on HK and his crimes. More headaches. A cold case rotting in the very far back of the public's awareness is always preferable to one open and shut in haste. Now, with no more murders matching HK's MO, there won't be any additional public pressure to find a culprit. Now Heartbreak can just starve to death, out of sight and mind, like any other fluke in the system. Almost done. Getting involved with this case intimately does have its risk. So, hell, I might have even overdone things here or there, like lighting up a smoke inside an interrogation room, just to make doubly sure I didn't still smell of gunpowder myself. That London fellow seemed more fixated on it than I would have liked. But obviously, everything turned out rosy. And it's worth it for the finality of it all. Seeing the authorities failing from the best seat in the house, that's just a bonus.
Thanks again, Morgan, for everything. I'm sure Diane is grateful too.
Funny. I didn't even know her name. Something the matter?
No, sorry. It's just... I was mad when I left the apartment. I know she was too. So, when she died...
Death was instantaneous, Carlos. I can't imagine that she was in any pain. In fact, I can guarantee she was dead before she hit the ground.
No, I know, but I just keep thinking that she must have died angry at me. That she must have died hating me.
What's this? Present a little evidence. Don't mind if I do. To tell you the truth, Carlos, there's something I've been wondering about myself.
What is it?
Something I noticed in the ARC's data that I didn't quite understand. A piece of the puzzle I couldn't fit in anywhere else. But maybe you can make sense of it? I love this part as well. You don't have to Ace Attorney guess it. You already found the piece of evidence. It didn't fit anywhere else. Just give it.
What is the... Where did you find that?
The pill organizer was found on the victim. She had it grasped in her hand when she died. Obviously, the police added it to the ARCs, but it was quickly ruled irrelevant. Seems like it contained Triprexona? Triprexone. Prescribed to help modders with phantom itches. They're small tablets, and those tricky clasps, too, for a pill organizer. Could be hard to handle with an unsteady hand. Triprexazone. Thank you. No one will ever know what she was feeling when she died. Even if they did. Feelings are complicated. You can feel angry, happy, and sad all at the same time. But as far as facts are concerned, it would appear that when she died, what she was doing was setting out your medications for the week. To my eyes, anyway.
"5:01 a.m., June 5th, 2086.
Long night. That was too far just now. Practically rubbing it in his face. It's not like I care about his feelings. I doubt I'll ever see him again. I doubt I'll ever even see him again. But overstepping that is pure hubris. And hubris invites a downfall. So why? Why did I even bother? It was the last piece of the puzzle, I suppose. I'll just need to show more restraint next time. Though, there won't be a next time for heartbreak. The gun's in custody. There's no more bullets left. There won't be a 7th victim. There won't be any more leads to pursue. The media will move on to their next obsession. I'll move into my next MO. Found you. District Attorney Rockford.
Sorry. Can I try that again? I'm so fried.
By all means.
Counselor Morgan. Morning, noon, or night. You're always so put together.
Thank you.
I don't get it. How do you sleep at night?
Pardon?
You do white noise? Aromatherapy? Whatever you're doing, I need to steal it. God. I must have bags under my eyes dark enough for the dumpsters.
Assistant District Attorney Emma Rockford. She's killed more than 6, though. So heartbreak's over, but there's still a next time. Yes, that's what Morgan does. She's just goes into an MO, does that MO for a little bit, and then just gets away with it. And then goes on to their next thing, and never gets caught. We don't know how many Morgan has killed. It's crazy.
She's a prosecutor, the lawyer who argues for the state in court, trying to prove a defendant's guilt.
But like she said, there's no next time. No next time for Heartbreak. Heartbreak's just gonna die. She's not gonna use that ammo anymore.
And despite her sometimes unkempt appearance,
If she's DA, she probably doesn't. What? I've lost. But if she was talking about hubris, saying next time, she can't. The hubris part was like DAs don't really go into court trials. They manage.
she's probably the sharpest person to fill the position in decades. I should know, since I haven't beaten her once. Worse yet, she has the remarkable ability to compartmentalize all that adversarial energy and only bring it out in the court. It's part of what makes her good at her job, and hard for me to read.
Should I buy a new mattress?
What have they've got you doing at this ungodly hour, Emma?
Emma Rockford. Date of birth, February 13th. Height, 165 centimeters. Weight, I'm gonna ignore that. Blood type O positive. Universal donor. Occupation, assistant district attorney. Likes coffee, toffee, hot couture. Dislikes sunburn, dead pixels, eye strain. Eggs, Benedict. Plays chess, shogi, idol, savant stars. Cat person, yes. February.
Yeah. I do want to point out, notice how Morgan's birthday is right after a holiday, and Emma is right before a holiday. Parallels. The ultimate, even though I'm like, oh, Morgan and Reyes are like my top ship. That's a lie, because it is my top ship, but not my top scenario. Emma is still involved. Emma is, you'll see.
Oh, well. Actually, I'm here for you.
Me?
Your client was a suspect in the Heartbreak killings. That's my case.
Well then, you must have been relieved finding out that you won't have to go to trial against me.
No? Why would I be worried about going up against you?
It's always the unintended barbs with her.
So, you're working with those detectives?
Yeah, London and the new girl? Reyes. They've been reporting to me in preparation for the trial.
Preparation for the trial? That seems ambitious.
I guess they gave you the rundown. They've been doing everything they can, but it's hard to catch a killer who leaves behind so little.
It's hard to kill while leaving behind so little.
So Reyes told you they had HK in custody and you popped out of bed all excited to run down here?
Hardly. I haven't slept in 40 hours.
Why are you proud of that?
Too much on my mind. So, when I heard about a case with a single female victim shot through the heart, yeah, my ears perked up. But that's about all. Oh? I mean, Carlos Flat, a serial killer. The same serial killer that's outsmarted the state for weeks.
She's not using his middle name.
He was found with the murder weapon.
But I can answer that any number of ways. A lucky shot. That may be true, but
then I glanced at the report.
you glanced at it?
No gunpowder residue on him or his clothes.
Right.
Too remorseful, too apologetic in that note. Whatever it was about,
His dominant arm modded.
with documented sensitivity issues,
Never could have made shots that clean.
pinky pouts.
It's a Death Note style ship, I see. Yes! That's everyone puts these two together.
Not without getting close enough to leave scorch marks. Not to mention, he's too tall for the ballistic entry angles, and probably too heavy to not leave imprints.
She got all that from a glance.
But I'm sure a competent lawyer like yourself pointed out all the pointed all that out the minute you walked in here.
Of course. Worst part is, she's not even being sarcastic.
Yeah, of course it couldn't have been him. Long-term relationship, physically imposing, argumentative, so not the type to bottle things up. He didn't match the profile.
Profile?
Yeah, Right, sorry, you've probably never heard of it.
I know what a goddamn profile is.
A profile is a reconstruction of a criminal's psychology based on evidence from their crimes.
Let's just double check.
Trying to get your dating profile just right can be a full-time job. Let Valentine take the reign with our automated, secure, and confidential tools that put your better than best foot forward and put the sexy back into finding the right match. Not interested in sponsored search results? See further with a premium account.
Not the profiling I wanted.
Kinda fallen out of fashion in the last few decades. Not much need to guess about the why when 99 times out of 100 the who is caught on camera.
Or before they even leave the house.
I've had to find some real fossils and oddballs to get advice on how to go about it. But I think I'm getting the hang of it.
Well, at least this heartbreak maniac will slow down now that he's lost his weapon.
He didn't lose it. He chose to leave it behind. That tells me he's confident he can do just fine without it. And it just makes him even more certain. And it just makes me even more certain that these aren't his only kills.
Were there other shootings with the same MO?
No, not that I've found.
Other victims that fit that description?
No. But I'm not overly focused on the victim's appearance anyway. I mean, these 6 victims all look like each other, but they also look like a lot of people.
That's true.
Hell, they kind of look like me.
This one line, this one little detail thing. I don't like bash on anyone else's ships of just like, you think Morgan and Emma should be together? You fucking crazy. No, I think it's also cute. This is extremely compelling. I also like this. I just think if it was stuck in a monogamous relationship, I'd rather want to see Morgan and Reyes together. And Emma as just simply work colleague, friend, best friend even. But I don't know if they'd fit together. They're good rivals. Don't know if that makes like good relationship. Whereas Reyes and Morgan kind of had the same wavelength. So I don't see them coming into conflict. Do they? Sure. What? You don't see it? I hadn't thought about it. Point is, no one can kill that cleanly when it's their first time. Getting things that perfect takes practice. So I know that HK must have had a lot more than 6 occasions to practice Morgan. And that's why I think heartbreak is a misnomer. You've got something catchier in mind? I just don't think shooting them in the heart has any particular significance. If anything, it's a testament to their accuracy and their cold-blooded efficiency. The best possible use of 6 untagged bullets. 6 kills guaranteed, no matter what kind of life support mods they were packing. Their real signature isn't the bullets or the gun. It's the perfection. That's hard to wrap your head around. I'm saying that these 6 murders were just a fluke, a slip-up, a mistake. Exactly! A mistake. They got too clean, too efficient, and now they've got the public's attention. It's no wonder they're so pissed. Are you talking about the crime scene? Yeah, probably threw the detectives for a loop, right? Based on what you've said, I don't blame them. Whoever trashed that room doesn't seem like the smooth operator you've been describing. On the contrary. I don't follow. This was the last bullet, their last shot. The other 5 were perfect. So if anything was out of place this time around, they must have thrown one hell of a temper tantrum. You make them sound like a child. Childish. And cowardly. And two-faced. Someone who hates to lose almost as much as they love to win. Your profile tell you all that? That? No. That's just... takes one to know one. Huh. So, this profiling, it's some kind of investigative technique? The theory is that a crime can tell you something about the nature of the person who committed it. Stabbing, overkill, points to passion. Stabbing, overkill, points to passion, rage, lust. They probably knew their victim. Poison and guns, meanwhile, suggest they can't overpower their victims physically. And then there's the things you can assume about nearly all serial offenders. Childhood trauma, prior criminal record, few or no meaningful attachments. There's a lot of recurring themes in their stories. The detectives say HK doesn't leave evidence. So how much can his crimes possibly tell you? That he's diligent, almost perfect, highly intelligent, painstakingly organized, and with enough criminal connections to get his hands on an untagged firearm. It's rare to see her this animated outside the courtroom. It's almost like she's enjoying herself. I'm getting to say my special interest to a pretty lady. Wow. Hope I'm not accidentally flirting with her. That'd be weird. How can you accidentally flirt with someone? You either do it or you don't. A sheltered house cat who's picked up the scent of a mouse for the first time.
A lone wolf, educated, but
All her playfully all her playfully lethal instincts coming to life.
probably overqualified or undervalued.
Though I'm not thrilled about the fact that in that metaphor I would be the
Know what I mean?
Definitely.
And considering the marksmanship,
The detective said that HK would have needed insider information on optics. So does that mean Heartbreak's in law enforcement?
never in 10 billion years.
Oh.
Antisocial, independent, despises authority. That'd be like a stallion applying for a job on a merry-go-round. They'd be kicking kids in the head after the first full rotation.
Right, that's exactly how I'd put it.
There must be some connection to the police, though. Maybe secondary or territory. These type can't help but insert themselves.
Insert themselves? I had that part removed years ago. I don't do ins. I don't do anything even resembling that.
What about scissoring?
That. Hey, get out of my green text. Wait, if HK's not a cop, how did they know about the blackout timing?
Crime meta statistic analysis? Probably.
Pardon?
Take the emergency response times from across the city and map them out. Look for brief spikes in delay. Chart out the dips in. Sorry. Technically, I know. But all the requisite data is publicly available. With a map, a spreadsheet, and a calculator, anyone could reverse engineer the timing if they wanted to.
That is such an unpleasant thought, Emma. So, to summarize, you're looking for a cold-blooded, faceless perfectionist killer who you think has no persistent MO or victim type.
In a city with an 8-digit population.
Well,
Good luck! I don't need luck. I only need more information.
well, I'm sure the city would be happy to provide you with more resources.
No, Morgan. I mean, I need more crime scenes.
Oh?
Sad truth is, if Heartbreak walked away today, I'd never catch them. Only way my net narrows is if they keep piling up bodies.
Not a very fair trade, is it?
No, it isn't. But getting screwed over is a given. It's a deal with the devil. Morgan gets
Caught because she clicks on a murdercore gif instead of the hello in her Discord's favorite tab. I love that joke going around. I'd be banned from this server if they saw what my fucking GIF favorites were. I can't even see half my GIF favorites on my phone. I don't know why. None of them that I can't see are like disturbing. One of them is Optimus Prime, like the death scene of Optimus Prime, but in like bed sheets and with a little stuffed bunny saying good night. I think it's both a bit morbid and cute to be sending people a sleepy dead Optimus. But I can't see that on my phone, and I don't know why. It's like, this isn't that bad, is it? But then the actual gif of just the scene of Optimus dying and just GN right next to his head, that one I can see on my phone, so there's no consistency. For me, there's a lot of kiss ones that I can't send to my friends.
Like the band or Yuri? Fair enough.
Woof.
Are you a puppy girl?
Mm?
You're not saying no.
Okay, that rant was pretty morbid and detailed.
Ones that are, like, not on tenor, but just saved via Discord will be much harder to load. Don't know if that explains... That actually does kind of explain it. That actually explains a lot of it, because all the ones that I can't see are the not normie ones. Like, none of the devil fucking gifts I can see. I have to, like, go into my server, like, secret chat that no one can see, so I can, like, test out text features and other things like that, see if a link works before I post it places. And I always have to, like, load in my gifts and be like, okay, it's the third one from the top for it's Morgan Monday tomorrow. Go to sleep.
I need to get out more. Or sleep more. Or sleep less, but harder. You think a higher thread count would help?
Don't worry about it. I'm always happy to listen to you ramble. It's a lot more pleasant than having to face you in the courtroom.
Sorry, but that's the adversarial process.
Damn it, I did it. I can't click to, like, go back to a previous line, but I'd love to, like, you know, screen cap this. I'm always happy to listen to you ramble. I love listening to my friends, and I'd love to be able to send that to them.
So, no hard feelings, yeah?
No hard feelings. We're both just doing what we do. Eh? I could use a cup of coffee. How about you?
Don't tempt me.
If you fall asleep face first onto the table, I won't even take a picture.
Okay. Just don't expect this to make a difference next time we're at each other's throats.
Heartbreak won't claim any more victims. In 2 weeks, the media will have moved on to the next sensation. And the police will have moved on to the cases they actually stand a chance of closing. It's what people do. But Emma is different.
Look at them.
Talk about close-up Yuri, eh? Eh? Where's the lighting, Paris? Get the lights on. She'll set it aside and work a dozen. A firm professional boob shake. She'll set it aside and work a dozen other cases, never bringing it up. But a private corner of that frustratingly sharp mind of hers will continue to whittle away at it, never finishing, never quitting either. So, I can't afford to take my eyes off of her. As long as that's the case, I may as well try to enjoy the view. Episode 0. End. Ah! Paris, the lights are too bright! Which means you're going to be living with my friend for a while.
For how long?
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Hmm?
There's no need to look that upset over it.
My face barely moved.
It may as well been a blatant pout from where I'm sitting. Yeah, like that.
This friend of yours, they're trustworthy?
Absolutely. In fact, I trust them more than anyone. Hey, come on. It'll be fun.
Really?
Really. Educational, too. I think you could stand to learn a lot from someone like Morgan. Credits. Woo! Huzzah! We solved a murder! They're too good a killer to kill anyone close to them. Precisely. But how many people are close to Morgan? Go on. Tell me. Who is close to Morgan?
Art and art direction by
Evil Little Bug. Programming by Patrick Mrkfer. MCF. 3D modeling by AA Renders. Environment by Patrick MCF. AA Renders. Written, directed, developed by Brian Mulholland. Volunteer playtesting by Griston, Hugh J, Maxie, Sadie Virtuous Varmint, S. Thumbut, Thomas Colamander, Wee, Xenons. Special thanks to Adrian, Alternex, Anna, Kiljilovd, Maddo, Mad Monks. Special thanks to DevTalk, Philly Game Mechanics, our friends and family, and you, the players, and you, the viewers, who all showed up, who are watching right now live or watching from the future. Maybe this is even an edited video. Who knows? Full attributations avail at Ninth Circle Studio. Made with Unity, Nanny Novel, Dotweens, Pro Builder, Shapes, a game by Ninth Circle, Of the Devil, Episode 0. He shall appear. To be continued in. You're the smartest person I know, Morgan, when it comes to people. Personally, I think it's cruel to bring something that flawed into the world.
You're a criminal defense attorney, and we're at a crime scene. I think I can guess what happens next.
I've never stolen anything. That wasn't already compromised. Work hard and the company will have you set for life. And after, too.
I have no idea what I was going to give this voice, and now we're here in the live that I gotta figure out.
Cecil, Danny, Minnie, Portia, Diana, Vixen, Marina, Stevie, Masha, Georgia, Baby, Cena, V, Penny, and little Zoe.
Hey, wait a minute. I know what Jello did for this character, and so I don't want to do that, because I'm a different person with my own different things.
Can't tell you how many musicians I've seen screwed over by a big smile and a fat signing bonus.
So it's not just a lawyer job thing? You dress like a doorman on the weekends, too?
Compared to determining fault, determining cause of death is like a breath of fresh air. The company wheels don't stop spinning for anything.
We can't hope to keep this quiet for very long.
It's a million times more likely than the alternative. That Heartbreak could ever stop themselves from killing.
Father said that you owed him.
I don't do anything out of the goodness of my heart. But when I take a job, I never half-ass it. Of the Devil, Episode 1! An Idle Mind.
This seems like too many characters to spoil.
I mean, it's out now. That wasn't there before. It's like, go get episode 1. Go! And it's not bad to know who all the characters are. Episode 0, results. Articles, 2 found. 6 profiles, 6 found. 18 key terms, 18 key terms. 16 pieces of evidence out of 16. 36 total credits earned. Congratulations! You've finished episode 0 with 36 credit. You've also unlocked concept art and bonus scenarios based on your highest score from episode 0. You also have a total of 1 remaining store credit to spend on phone charms and case colors based on the highest credit with which you finish this episode. So, we're not done yet. We haven't hit the full 3-hour mark. Let's do bonus scenarios. All these different interviews. Let's start with the lowest ranked one. My network / files, capture video, interviews, London 01, vid, beginning playback.
You want to interview me? It's very flattering, but aren't there more lively folks around here for you to question?
I had considered that.
So I'm not your first choice.
You are the first one who hasn't walked away.
Come to think of it, I should probably...
So, what are your 3 sizes?
Have you been opening with that?
Should I not? Do you have any pets?
Afraid not. Would need 1 or 2 or 3 promotions to afford that kind of thing.
Are pets that expensive?
Only if you care about them. Maybe if I found a place closer to the park.
Have you ever owned any automated dependents?
Not had the chance.
Would you own one if you could?
Maybe one of the little vacuum ones. Anything more complicated than that is...
If you find the owner's manual intimidating, there are video-based tutorials I could show you.
I'm not worried about the ease of use. Don't worry. When I say complicated, I mean...
Yeah, no surprise. Like, look at the design. Bonus scenario. Scissors. I mean, when how snatched his waist is, what else is he gonna ask?
What else is anyone gonna ask?
When will you wear wigs?
It's like what I said about pets. Fine to leave a goldfish in a tiny bowl. It takes time to swim half a lap. It'll have forgotten what the first half looks like. Not a very tall hierarchy of needs there. Easy to please. But a cat? A dog? I don't want to be at work thinking about how bored they are sitting at home. And today's ads are a lot smarter than dogs. About most things.
That's a very thoughtful perspective, Detective London.
It's a moot point anyway. I'd need to get hit by a city bus to afford any of the new stuff Noble's settling. No, you're thinking of the shelter generation.
Sheltered, as in sheltered upbringing?
Or shelter in place. There was a lot of unnecessary uncertainty during their childhood. So when they grew up, they wanted surety, safety, stability. wanted to know that their heat would stay on in the winter, and their politics reflected that. But that was all before my time. My generation is a little more, well, Generation Zen. That's what they called us in their think pieces. Even-tempered, mentally strong, and more than a little cynical.
You disagree?
It wasn't a matter of mindfulness. We just grew up without false expectations. Our vision wasn't clouded with illusions about impossibilities like home ownership or retirement. We realized early on that we'd be working right up until we die.
Detective?
Unrealistic expectations. Some people call that hope. To see your friends, your classmates, drowning every day in that kind of mire. And then have to listen to people 3 times your age go on about how enlightened today's youths are. Gen Zen. It's not a name I'm particularly fond of.
So, how long have you been in law enforcement?
Too long.
And how long have you been with the homicide department?
Not that long, by comparison. Sorry, didn't mean to be overly vague. If you really want to know, I spent the bulk of my career over in arson.
Was it different from homicide?
Flashier, I'd say. Everyone jokes that homicides solve themselves in a city with this many cameras. Meanwhile, fraud and disinfo are so entrenched in the tech arms race that they barely come up for air. But arson really hasn't changed much in the modern era. Fire's still good at destroying evidence. You can't expect the drone net to sweep into burnt rubble and bring you back out the culprit's fingerprints and driver's license. That's a lot of legwork, a lot of interviewing. And since more than half of the culprits we caught were burners helping Megs commit insurance fraud, we spent a lot of time making friends and enemies in high-rise corporate boardrooms.
Megs?
Just slang for mega corporations, which is also just slang.
And at what size does a corporation become mega?
It's not really about gross revenue or how many countries you operate in. If you're big enough to crush people, you're a meg.
An apex predator among apex predators. Bring cats and wives to work for enrichment. I'm going to your work? I don't think generations get described that way. Like the Otis Megalodon of the Miocene epoch.
Hey, wait, is that where it comes from? I must admit, I kind of like this voice I've landed on for London. It works. It's old.
So, why are you working in the homicide department?
What's that?
Why'd you leave arson?
The smoke.
The smoke?
Just got to a point where I couldn't stand the smell.
London 01 vid. Playback complete. Oh no. I just realized Reyes and Sarah are gonna have to talk at each other. My network. Files. Capture. Video. Interviews. Reyes 01 video. Beginning playback. Okay. You can start now that my desktop's censored. So, for the record, your full name is Farah Reyes. And how is that pronounced? Like how I just said it? Farah Reyes. Farah Reyes.
Fair raise over here.
Hi! Welcome
Hi.
in. Do you want to take over one of these two lovely ladies?
Sounded like you wanted someone to.
Because I'm pretty sure in most cases, Sarah and Reyes don't talk to each other. I might be wrong about episode 1. I haven't seen that one in a bit.
Do you want to stream to me?
Oh, yeah.
Which one do you want me to take?
Whichever one you want to take, because I can do both.
Thank you. Your birthday is?
October 19th.
And how do you take your coffee?
See, makes you fetch the coffee? Figures. Wait, let me guess. Counselor Morgan takes her coffee black, no decaf, like a real psychopath.
Decaf, yes. Sometimes with milk.
Nice. That's even worse.
She likes it to come out as like a real, like nice sort of like brown, like brunette color. And you, detective?
That is a great way to describe it, Pri.
With 2 sugars and a bottle of water. Now that I've got this.
You mean your eye? When did you have it modded?
After I learned I was getting promoted to detective. And before I realized I was getting promoted to homicide.
Do you regret it?
No. Would have wanted it for work eventually, if it takes me a while longer to pay off than expected. Well, I'm hardly the only person my age walking around with their debts socketed onto them.
I see. Sorry. What are your likes?
Oh, I get it. You're alright. My likes? Pretty broad ask, don't you think?
In that case, perhaps you find it easier to describe your dislikes. Do you dislike me?
Small plates.
Oh,
I hate that diner by 1,000 cuts shit.
I see. You put the criminals away and you put the food away.
And I dislike cheap people, and liars, and lawyers.
Lawyers?
They're smug, prideful, they bill by the minute, greed personified, like their time is so goddamn important. And they're annoying and pale
Whoa.
and smug.
Should I put down smug twice? I've already underlined pale like 3 times with several exclamation points. So what do you like, detective? Do you have any hobbies? Areas of interest?
Well, automotive history, maybe.
Could you say more about that?
I guess I could talk about it a little bit.
A tidbit?
Hmm?
A tidbit?
A tidbit. Do all this like text line as just like this is Sarah's inner thoughts.
The following section has been altered from its original format. It's been edited for time and racism.
Ackwood, which was supposed to be a luxury version of a pickup truck. As if there's a market for that. It's so stupid and I love it. And it's chrome, a purplish blue, chrome-ish color. The copyright was so intense that just mixing the paint was illegal for naturally aspirated. Can you imagine?
I'm gonna get a bug near your eye.
Oh shit.
I see. Do you own a car yourself?
You're joking, right? I'd rather eat asphalt than buy an EV with my hard-earned money.
The following section has also been altered. It's been edited for time. Strong language.
4 rotors and a computer chip. It's not engineering, it's barely even programming. And As if acceleration was all that mattered. Any race longer than 2 seconds and simulated engine noise.
Anjing, baby!
What?
That means bitch.
What?
Yep.
What language is that?
Indonesian.
Indonesian. Wow. How do I say that?
Anjing.
Anjing. Who in their
Dear?
right mind?
Dia tahu anjing. I guess she's Indonesian then.
Or she just picked it up.
Possible. I did.
Yep.
She likes Hololive. I believe that fills out your dislike section. So, what is your favorite drink?
Dark and Stormy's pretty good.
How do you make that?
Ginger beer, rum, and a lot of lime juice. You putting together a recipe book or something?
Who is your hero?
Well, that one's easy. Detective Qasim London, of course.
Oh, like you're supposed to use a cue like that. Should I relay your sentiments to him? I'm sure he'd love to hear them.
Somehow I doubt that you'd get the tone right.
Very well. In that case, what are your 3 sizes?
My what?
The measurements for your bust, extend.
I'm not telling you that. Where the hell are you getting these questions from?
Question store. I designed my interview process to extract all the same kinds of facts that are most commonly listed online.
Oh my gosh, there's a store for everything. They got a store for questions now? On what websites?
Open source, collaborative, community focused databases.
You mean like Wiki?
Would you prefer to skip this question?
Tell you what. If you can find a single person who does answer that question, I'll give you mine down to the millimeter.
Oh, Farah Reyes 01 Vid. Playback complete. Yippee!
Woo!
Okay. Time for Carlos.
Playback network files capture video interviews carlosflat.vid. Begin playback. T.
So this is like an offboarding thing. An exit interview?
Sure. I'm not legally bound to tell you anything.
Oh, well, that's sweet of Morgan. Still worrying about me. How'd she know I'd be here?
She did. Why are you here?
Oh, hoping to get back some of my shit. Some of my stuff that the police collected as evidence. Don't tell Morgan that, by the way.
Is there something embarrassing among what they seized?
No, it's just... I'm guessing, as my lawyer... Is she still my lawyer? Well, as a lawyer, she'd probably know the exact right form to get this stuff back, but it's okay. I wanted to do this myself.
I don't think you're supposed to do that. Why is that?
Conquering my fears. Maybe. Last time I...
You're so scared of getting arrested that you're now fucking like throwing the law into like wanton disarray to see what happens to face your fears.
Yep.
Exposure therapy.
Last time I came here, I was dragged in, strong-armed. Everything was going so fast I barely spoke. I didn't stand up for myself. If I'd been able to stop and think things through clearly, well, I could never have done what Morgan did, but maybe I wouldn't have gotten myself dug so deep.
It must be very upsetting being accused of something so terrible. I'm sure you reacted just as well as anyone could be expected to.
Thanks, I think.
Getting kind of Splatoon, like Octopath vibes too. Look at this.
Why?
Look at the fucking like dingy green like background and like the pinks and greens. The bright pinks with like the dingy green lighting almost looks underwater with like particle effects.
Okay. I'm not
It's
super.
it's very Octopass.
Okay. I'm not very familiar with Octopass. I've never played a Splatoon game. So,
Did you watch us play it?
I did, but I watched those when they came out, and now I just have the Skylanders in my head. Because you played that and you played Fates. Go watch Paris. Let me put that in the description. Stream settings update.
My arm. No, it's not a back. It's an arm.
Star Kick Factory.
My arm? No, it's not back yet. At this point, I might be better off getting an upgrade rather than waiting for my current model to get fixed.
Is that allowed?
Yeah, it is. Can't downgrade, can't trade in, can't opt out. But Hindi will let me upgrade anytime.
Do you ever regret it? Getting modded?
Sometimes. But I have a lot of regrets. Compared to some of them, buyer's remorse is,
How do you deal with your buyer's remorse?
lately? Lately, I've been lying face down on the floor and exhaling. Just for 30 seconds. I count to 30.
Is this a form of yaoi? And do you feel better afterwards?
Yeah, it's the state fucking me. Right in the ass. Yeah. I mean, I've seen the protests, but I've never... There's a lot of pains being a modder. Makes sense that people would have loud opinions. Want them heard. But we all made a choice. All signed the papers.
I feel like modder should not be the term.
Why?
I feel like modder should be the one actively doing it, like, you know, in real life. A modder is not like a person who installs mods on their game. It is a person who makes mods for games. I feel like having a mod should not make you a modder. Being like a tattoo artist who installs it should make you a modder.
Interesting. Language is funny, and strange words become the popular one.
I guess that's just
Language
it.
sure is fun.
I guess that's just it, huh? Not all of us made the choices ourselves. I got modded to help my career. Didn't need to get modded just in order to have one. But a lot of people did, and do. There was this guy.
Did they do?
Worked with us for 1 quarter. Probably a vet, but definitely didn't want to talk about it. So none of us asked.
I think that's below minimum wage.
What?
He worked for you? He worked with you for a quarter?
You don't know how bad it's gotten in this city. In this city, a quarter gets you nothing. But it's all you can get. Good coworker. Very gung-ho. Cheery in a musclehead kind of way. It's a physical job. So there's no slouches. But he wasn't... But he wasn't just fit, he was cut and handsome.
This part has been censored for privacy reasons.
This section has been cut for yearning.
And
The censor has been cut for cut.
And so, when he kept showing up to work with more and more mods, all of them cosmetic, I
Vision mod?
didn't get it. What's he missing? What's a guy like that want to change about himself?
He'll never fully compensate for his missing foreskin.
Got offered full time at the end of the contract, but he said he needed something that paid better. Turns out he'd blown every paycheck at elective surgeons. Pal of mine in HR said he had given his insurance info to 6 different clinics in the span of 4 weeks. Word is, he wasn't even using the pain pills. Sold them to get some of the drivers for extra cash. It's the worst I've ever seen it. Grafting runaway, or plastophilia, or whatever they're calling it now. But it's not the only time I've seen it. It's not like there's no incentive for it. Because there are plenty of Megs out there that see people hurting like that and think, there's an ideal worker. So you work for Morgan? And you're... Wow. Lawyers must make more money than I realized. Wait, are you here to give me the bill? How much do I owe?
You don't owe her anything. Her services were paid for by the state. And I happen to be forbidden from handling any kind of financials. I'll take a stick of gum if you have it, though. Due to an ongoing dispute about what constitutes essential office supplies.
Is that a reference to that, like, really, really old film Home Alone 2? Back when sequels only had single digits? I hear ya.
That movie had a tagline.
It did? What was it?
Boston, New York.
Oh, what's New York?
It's like, this place, but old.
Oh, dang. Well before my time, I guess. I hear ya. Diane was always the money smart one.
Get that in any relationship you're in. I say that from experience of being in a relationship with myself, who is not money smart.
Pretty strict, actually. Unless she saw a fidget to be on the shelf.
I'll just say one word for my wife, who will watch this later. Lucky Scoops.
You could see her eyes light up. Could hear her puffing like she just won the lottery. They're ugly cute, babe. And I would say, well, you're cute, babe. Believe it or not, she thought I was pretty suave.
Swoosh.
Swoosh.
Carlos black dot plate. Black complete. He gave me his measurements, but immediately demanded I edit it out.
This section was removed for yearning.
Man,
My
my
network
measurements
file
are
is
this, but
captured.
I wish I could be a this.
My network files capture video interviews more than no one kid.
Only
Did you
2
play
digits
that
for
game?
interviews? That's extremely optimistic for what Morgan is. You're going to interview me? Here?
He did say I need to practice asking better questions.
But right now...
Because he said the police would be making us wait so they feel more important for the next 20 minutes. Is there some more productive way we can spend that time?
I was planning on napping.
For 20 minutes? In the lobby of a police precinct?
I can fall asleep anywhere. It's one of my many hidden talents. You're going to write all this down?
Did you start with your name for the record?
Morgan.
And your first name?
You should know by now that no one calls me by my first name.
That's something you have control over.
I wouldn't want to force the issue.
How long has that been the case?
As long as I care to remember.
And what did your parents call you? Hanjing?
The tumor.
That's close.
That was a joke.
Oh. Ha ha.
Maybe we should have started you off with someone a little more your speed.
I don't have any speed. Who told you? We're in a police precinct. Shh. Better start with you than you.
Someone who likes talking about themselves.
You seem to talk about yourself as much as anyone else does. Or more.
I tell people things about myself. It's different.
Because you're lying?
Now you're getting it.
It's not very polite to lie.
On the contrary, telling the truth is usually rude.
I see. Then I definitely don't have speed. I'm not sure that your clients would appreciate that sentiment.
We're not talking about my clients. We're talking about manners.
You were supposed to be talking about you?
Look, the sooner you learn this, the better. When people ask how you are or what you've been up to, they're not looking for anything nearly so heavy as the truth. They're just following the template, and the polite thing to do is for you to follow the template as well. Here, let's practice. Hi, how are you?
I am very speedless, thank you.
Way too late. The whole point is to be on autopilot. Now you force them to grab the wheel, crack their mirrors, check their mirrors, and no one's ever grateful for extra workload.
They can be very cynical about these kinds of things at times.
I'm just trying to teach. I'm just trying to tell you that people are fundamentally lazy. So, if you want to be a social butterfly like me, try not to make them work too hard.
Fundamentally lazy?
Like a biscuit.
Do you think people are fundamentally good too?
Yes, like a biscuit. Obviously. If they weren't, they wouldn't be so easy to trick.
So are you planning on answering any of my questions about yourself?
I've still got time to kill. Fire away.
Will you be honest?
I wouldn't want to be rude.
When is your birthday?
Wait, you're not trying to guess my passwords, are you?
I would never commit identity fraud. I like myself.
Not the worst way of going about it, actually. December 26th.
The 26th. That's almost Christmas. Just like Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
That's what
I know. I understand. But almost Christmas means it's not Christmas. Just a week away.
Your insights are always so original.
Did you receive your presents on your birthday or on Christmas?
What do you mean?
Did you not celebrate Christmas in your family?
We did.
So did your parents give you presents on the 25th or on the 26th?
Well, I got Christmas presents on Christmas, and I got birthday presents on my birthday. Obviously. Are all your questions going to be this strange?
What's your favorite color?
Are all your questions going to be this juvenile?
Are all your answers going to be this judgmental? Do you prefer something weightier? Do you volunteer?
No.
Do you donate?
Yes.
What causes do you donate towards?
Endangered wildlife. What's with the face? It's on auto renewal. I just haven't canceled it yet.
You've mentioned a mentor figure before.
I've also mentored a mention figure before.
Mentos.
Women toes. No way I ever called her a mentor. A busybody, maybe. World record holder for billable hours spent under the influence, perhaps. Or just, the cougar from hell.
I'm thinking back on Anjing and like the censoring of it, and I'm picturing just like what our little character here is just like Anjing, because it was just like the single like vowel sound.
You know, if she had rubbed off on me in any way, I'd have hives.
I see. Is she a smoker?
Mm.
Lastly, do you know your 3 sizes?
I do.
If you tell me them, I'll know Reyes is too.
That's private.
You value your privacy very highly, don't you?
More like everyone else doesn't value it enough. Water's rising, the world's getting smaller. Literally. Less real estate to go around. And everything's connected to everything else. These days, just wanting some time or space to yourself is considered selfish. Or worse.
Only the guilty have something to hide.
I don't like that phrase. Laws like the Mob Act have made it so anonymity and privacy are luxuries. Oh, wait. We don't get the Mob Act until episode 1. Dang it. Privileges. Reserved for the privileged. And if anyone below that tax bracket tries to claw away a little bit of it for themselves, well, it can only be because they're guilty, right?
Is that why you became a criminal defiance attorney?
I don't think that's how that's pronounced.
To define people's innocence?
Are you having a robotic stroke? That's private.
I have mecha autism. Morgan 01 fit. Playback complete.
Okay, honestly, you as Sarah, super adorable. I love it.
Alright.
It fits her, like, little robotic vibe, the way you say things, of just very forwardly but earnestly. I love it. Thank you for showing up right at the end when Sarah was needed for all of that.
Joy? I'm still not over fucking learning a language coming in handy.
Yeah, that was funny. That there are many languages on this planet, and the one, my friend, who showed up just in time. That talk about being lucky.
I was saying, like, within the week, like, Marcy, do you want me to teach you Indonesian curse words? And Marcy's like, I don't know when I would ever need that.
Creepy Emma. I'm gonna look at these off stream, because we are pretty much at the end here. We've done all the bonus scenarios. We've completed the main case. All I have to do is the standard YouTube plugging thing. So, thank you all for watching, whether it be from the future or right now. Please like the video. Please comment your thoughts down below. Please share it with other people. They can be your friends, your enemies, and you can even clip these streams to send just the tiny little bits that you find shareable. Like a little, what are those things called at Costco?
Hot dogs?
I was too vague with that, true. Samples, that's the word I'm thinking of. You can send out a little clip like a sample of the stream. To send...
I clipped Bahabalabalooz. Hang on, Bahabalabalooz.
I gotta see that. And then we do these streams Monday, noon at PST. If that is a handful to remember, because it's a lot of little numbers that are very specific, you can simply subscribe to be notified when streams like this and other content I make comes out.
My hands are too full of hot dog samples.
Practically just giving those things away.
Whore.
And...
Giving away her sausage like that?
Oh my goodness. Not on the stream. Not in the Costco stream. And so,
Yeah,
I was
in
also...
Costco too.
I was also joined
No
here
shame.
by my lovely friends, Paris. Would you like anything to say? Channels you're in?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. You can find their stuff in the description. And so I think that is the end for Of the Devil. What game are we going to be playing next week? I don't
Patty cake.
know how to play patty cake.
Surprisingly, fucking like not. You have to know how to play.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so one idea is the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is pretty, it's just another visual novel, not much gameplay, recognizable stuff for thumbnails. Could play In Stars and Time, very very acclaimed by a lot of people, especially who go in this circle of the devil, so it's a nice jump too. Could do Ghost Trick,
Never
keep
heard
with
of
the
it.
detective and murder theme, or
I've never heard of thingy.
In Stars and Time.
Mm-hmm.
When I said in circles who know of the devil, I was more specifically talking about Jello Apocalypse.
I see.
Yeah. There is also, I could do One Night, Hot Springs, another tiny visual novel that is about the trans experience and would be very interesting to have a stream of. Or
There are 3 of those.
there are? Well, I just have the one. I have the One Night.
I have all 3.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Or the completely out of left field, not a visual novel, Steam World Heist 1. Because I love the game.
I got that on sale on 3DS when the shop was closing. I haven't played it.
Oh. I would recommend it. And here's the extra fun thing. Stars are encouraged to join in because not only can you voice your character, you can do the actions for your character because it's a turn-based RPG, so I can have other people control their characters. I always
Like
love...
D&D.
Yeah, like D&D.
You should pitch it that way. Get more of your ears pricked up.
Like steampunk robot D&D voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. But we'll figure out which one shows up. Subscribe to get the little notification of just like upcoming streams so you can see what's coming next. And this is where I push the off button. Watch out.